heard all the dire statements. The Highway Trust Fund is broken. It's bankrupt. It's running out of money. It won't be able to meet its obligations. There's nothing wrong with the Highway Trust Fund. It's not short of funds. It's short on political will, political backbone. It needs an infusion of political will in the north and south corridors of the U.S. Capitol building and on the west end of Pennsylvania Avenue. The Highway Trust Fund has been on autopilot for 21 years since we last increased funding for the Highway Trust Fund in the 1993 Budget Reconciliation Act that raised 4.3 cents for the user fee, which it is, not so much a gas tax as a fee that the users of the system are paying for it. But none of your businesses could thrive in a market where your costs increase, but your income is flat or declining. Since 2008, the Congress, the executive branch, have transferred $41 billion from the general fund to the Highway Trust Fund. Did an additional $12.6 billion transfer for the current fiscal year from general revenues to the Highway Trust Fund. Next year, we'll have to transfer $15 billion to meet the 2013 authorization level, and another $50 billion authorization and $51 billion authorization for 2014 means additional revenues will have to be transferred. At the beginning of this year, the balance in the Highway Trust Fund was $6.3 billion. The revenue and interest into the fund, $38 billion. The intra-governmental transfer, a quaint budget term, I served on the budget committee, means shifting money out of the general revenue into the Highway Trust Fund, was $10 billion. The outlays were $53 billion. And end-of-year balance will be $2.6 billion. That's very close to the requirement to stop reimbursing states for funding of projects that have already been committed and for which contracts have been awarded. The Congressional Budget Office has projected that revenue into the trust fund will increase to from $38 billion in this year to $49 billion in 2023. That's 1% a year. The diesel tax, gas tax, will increase at 3% a year, but the revenues into the Highway Trust Fund from automobile users and passenger light trucks will decline because of the increase in fuel efficiency standards required under current law. So your car is more efficient, you're driving more miles, you're putting more pressure on the road surface, but the revenue into the trust fund is not keeping up with the damage all of that is doing to the highway surfaces. By the end of 2023, the shortfall will be $129 billion shortfall in the highway account and a $43 billion shortfall in the transit account of the Highway Trust Fund. Total, we'll be short $172 billion in the next 9 years. So there are three options. You can reduce the authorization level to $34 billion a year, to exactly the amount coming in to the trust fund. Now, those of you who are in construction know that if you reduce the authorization level, that means fewer contracts. It means less work. That means less construction equipment on the roadsides. Or next year we can entirely eliminate the authorization level of $51 billion. That was projected when there was an expectation that revenues would increase, but they have not increased because we haven't increased the user fee on the highway system. Or you can raise the motor fuel tax 10 cents. 10 cents. Now, in 1956, when the Interstate Highway Program was established, the fee was 3 cents. Gasoline was selling for 30 cents a gallon. That was 10% of the cost of fuel. Passed the House and the Senate overwhelmingly. 2 years later, the Bureau of Public Roads came back to the Congress and said, this construction of the interstate system is driving up the cost of cement and asphalt and rebar and equipment and personnel, and we need another cent increase in the user fee. That 1 cent passed the House on a voice vote. In today's politics, you can't pass the prayer on a voice vote in the House of Representatives.